Anthony and Cal's Most Magical Christmas of All by Josh B. Oh God, it was Christmas morning, and Anthony Fantano was standing before the largest pile of presents he had ever received. Now, in any other situation, this would be a wonderful surprise. But in this situation, it filled Anthony with nothing but dread. He looked at the tall boxes, bound in colorful paper and silk bows, and wondered what could possibly be inside them. They almost filled the room with their size, and in fact the only thing that towered above these gargantuan gifts was the Christmas tree itself, topped with a mason jar. What was it, then, that made Fantano so wary of the packages that lay before him? It was, of course, the identity of the generous individual who had purchased, boxed, and wrapped these gifts, the roommate from Purgatory, Cal Chuchesta. "Merry Christmas, Anthony," sang Cal, leaping out from behind one of the presents in a disgustingly tight Christmas-themed turtleneck. Panting, he looked around the room proudly and shuffled over to where Anthony was standing. "What the hell is this?" asked Fantano, taking his glasses off so he could bury his face in his palm. "What do you mean?" "It's your Christmas presents," said Cal. "Go ahead and open 'em up." Reluctantly, Anthony stepped up to the first gift. It was about 5 feet tall, the same across, wrapped in a repeating pattern of smiling snowmen. As he began to rip the paper away, he suddenly felt the box move. He recoiled and slowly turned back to Cal, who gave an encouraging nod. Anthony turned back to the box. Perhaps Cal had bought him another puppy for Christmas. Maybe that wasn't such a bad gift after all. Excitedly now, Anthony ripped the paper away to reveal the box underneath. He grabbed the top of the box and threw it open, only to be knocked back as a large white shape leapt at him from inside. Anthony stumbled backwards, landing on the couch with a yell. The white shape flew around the room, knocking over the tree and cracking a mirror. "What the hell?" screamed Anthony. "Is that what I think it is?" "A swan. You love the swans." The large, angry bird spiraled into the kitchen, followed by the sounds of pots and pans clanging against the floor, the dishes smashing beside them. Pulling a white feather from his controversial new hairstyle, Anthony looked at Cal in disbelief. "The band swans, you unbelievable moron." He jumped to his feet, clenching his fists in rage. Cal looked confused. He scratched his head and then simply shrugged. "Whoopsie," Fantano sighed. "Besides, that's only one swan." There were 2 in the box." Hesitantly, Anthony stepped over to the open box once more and peeked over the edge. "Oh, gross. Poor thing," he groaned. Picking up the box, he shoved it at Cal. "Get rid of that, and while you're at it, get rid of the one that's still alive before it breaks everything we have." Cal ashamedly took the box and retreated into the kitchen. Anthony stood with his hands on his hips and shook his head as he listened to Cal Chuchesta cry out in pain, trying to wrestle the angry creature outside. After a few minutes, Cal came back into the room, covered in scratches with tears in his eyes. "Are any of these other presents going to attack us?" "Are any of these other presents going to attack us?" asked a perturbed Fantano. No, whimpered Cal. "Let's get this over with, then." Anthony picked up a smaller box, at least compared to the others. This was surprisingly heavy. He shook it, and it made a strange sound. Glaring at Cal suspiciously, he unwrapped the paper and opened it up. He stared into the box for a long time, and then looked back at Cal, and then back into the box, and then back at Cal. "What," he eventually sighed, "is the matter with you? What is this?" Anthony reached into the present and grabbed a handful of what was inside. Pulling it out, he opened his fist to reveal a clump of dark, moist soil. "Earth," beamed Cal. "I heard you making one of your YouTube videos, and you said you liked Earth. So I went outside and got some good fertile earth, just for you." As chunks of dirt fell out of his hand, Anthony looked around the room at the oddly sized shaped packages and began to realize just what was going on. He tipped his head back, whispering to himself about just how much he hated Cal. So much. And so it went. For the rest of the morning, Anthony opened gift after gift to find the misinterpretation. A knife, a framed picture of the sun, some wire, a vise with a little skull and some crossbones crudely etched on, some fireworks, which stumped Fantano at first, but made sense when Cal explained that they could be used to create some of those explosions in the sky he loves so much. Finally, Anthony came to the last gift. Tired from sighing and yelling, he tore the paper weakly and opened up the package. To say that he smiled might be a slight exaggeration, but the frown certainly dropped from his face. He took out the object inside and lay it down on the rug in front of him. It was an LCD sound system. Of course, this had been another error in understanding by Cal, but Fantano paused and began to nod slowly. He was checking out the box, and after a second, stood up and turned to look at his roommate. You know, even though I know this was a mistake, and that you're still a ridiculous brain-dead excuse for a human being, this is actually not bad. Really? Yeah, it's actually a pretty decent sound system. I think I might get a kick out of it. Gee, well, you're welcome, buddy. Happy Christmas. You know what, man? It's Christmas. You've done well on this last thing. I'm feeling a light hug on this one. To Cal's surprise, Anthony stretched out his arms and embraced him. Cal was overcome with joy and held Anthony tight. By the light of the Christmas tree lights, they stood together, surrounded by Cal's strange gifts, and shared that moment. "So what did you get me?" asked Cal. Anthony laughed. "Nothing, obviously. I hate you."